Accessories are the name of the game in this video. You have your camera all set up. That might be all you need. But there might be other things that can help you achieve your goals or help you achieve them more comfortably. For me, I assume a certain amount of discomfort. I mean, I'm often putting my body through the ringer to get to my photographs, but if I can minimize that discomfort, it will help me be creative and maybe even stay out longer to get those shots. 1, extra batteries and/or a power bank. It's a real bummer if you're in the groove, your surroundings are superb, maybe the sunset is particularly colorful, and your battery dies. Maybe you've been using your camera all day, or maybe it's cold out, which does drain the battery faster. Having an extra battery on hand can save the day. Or a power bank. Many cameras these days will charge via USB. I always have a power bank and appropriate charging cable with me. Always. Similarly, an extra memory card. There is the possibility that a card could fail, though it is a rare occurrence, so I really only bring them with me when it really matters. But if you aren't sure how fast you will fill up a card, having an extra on hand might save you from going through your camera and deleting individual photos to clear up space for a few more shots. That's okay, we've all done it. How about a neck strap that you don't mind hanging around your neck or some other carrying system? I used the manufacturer neck straps that came with my cameras for many, many, many years. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. However, you might not like them. Within the last year or so, I started using a system where there are dongles that hang from the camera's eyelets, and you can connect several different neck or wrist straps. For me, I like it for when my camera is on a tripod for a time lapse or a video. This way I can easily remove the strap so that it isn't blowing in the wind. Or, quite frankly, I use my cameras for display, and I don't want the strap tangled on the shelf with the camera. My straps are from Peak Design, but there are other brands that have similar systems. Or there are different options for attaching your camera to your backpack strap or to a belt. Replacing your camera strap may not be important to you, but if your strap bugs you for one reason or another, it's an easy thing to do to make yourself more comfortable. Next, a tripod. You may or may not need or want a tripod. I rarely use a tripod for still photography. The only time I will is if I want to use a slow shutter speed, either because the light is very low, so I need a slow shutter speed, or I'm using a long exposure for a particular effect, like making water look smooth. Other than that, I'd rather not have to carry one. Of course, I do video and time lapses, so sometimes I carry one for those purposes. There are a wide variety of options out there with a wide price range. I used and still use inexpensive tripods when I don't need something pricier. Things to consider when looking at tripods is how you adjust the head. Decide if it's easy enough to do for you. There are different kinds of adjustments. Look at how heavy it is, because if you're hiking with it, you definitely don't want something that will weigh you down too much. And look at how much weight it will hold. Generally, this comes into play when using heavier telephoto lenses, but it could, depending upon your setup. There's no one tripod that's perfect for everyone. I generally recommend starting with something inexpensive and then moving on from there if you need to. Okay, lens filters. You can find filters that affix to your lens, either to the end of the lens or into a compartment at the base of the lens. You'll hear terms like neutral density or ND filter, graduated neutral density filter, circular polarizer. I want to mention these here so that you know about them. They can modify how the light hits your sensor so that you can do more advanced techniques like these long exposures that I talked about a moment ago. However, I won't take the discussion much further for the purposes of this course. I may touch on it when we discuss creativity, but I will definitely include it in the Advanced Landscapes course in the future. Here's an important item, a camera bag. How will you carry your camera and potentially lenses and accessories when you aren't using it? I have many bags. There are so many options. There is absolutely no right or wrong bag. You can get them in so many shapes, sizes, ways to carry them, price points. I would suggest that this is a good place where you can save some money, especially if you don't need some sort of specialty bag, like a bag you can run with or a hard-sided case that can take some bumps. There are many inexpensive options. This, like the tripod, is a place where you can start inexpensive too, and then either stick with it because it works for you, or decide how you want the bag to be different once you get some experience with it. Or there are wraps that you can purchase and wrap your items in them to drop into whatever bag you have. Of course, be careful. When I put a camera lens wrapped up into my running pack, which is pretty flimsy, I'm just sure not to shake it up too much or drop it on the ground. And something that shouldn't be forgotten, things to make the photographer comfortable or safe. Doing landscape photography, things like bear spray, tweezers to pull out cactus needles, a handheld GPS or an app on your phone where you can download maps, a GPS watch, maybe even a satellite phone. If you are going out into the wilderness, remember to keep yourself safe and have appropriate clothing for the environment too. You might need hand warmers. In fact, Raymond just gifted me some heated gloves. These are all things that allow you to really get out there safely and maybe even stay out there once you're there. That is all I have for accessories. Really, the sky's the limit here. There are so many things that you can purchase to add on to your camera or add into the process. But in this video, I've discussed some of the things that you may want to look into as a beginner landscape photographer. And in the next video, we will go over some further considerations when choosing gear. A bunch of miscellaneous stuff that didn't seem to fit anywhere else in this module, but are good things to think about. I'll see you in the next video.